to Cannon Hall Farm in South Yorkshire. Do you know what you're doing with this?
So far, so good.
Have you seen what they're driving?
I know, check it out. The boys are absolutely in their element with two beautiful historic combines. Yes, we are back here on the farm, bringing you all the thrills and spills from this autumn, arguably my favourite time of year.
Yeah, we've got all of the usual drama, the excitement, the unpredictability of life on a real farm.
Right then, should we park up?
How are they going to park? I hope you've got a big turning circle. Good driving.
Thank you very much.
Should let me drive, but still, there's always next time. Yes, we are back on the farm, and as usual, we have got all of your favourite two-legged and four-legged characters. Hello, John Bon.
Oh, my favourite.
It's wrong, it's wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't feel, to be honest, like we've been away. It is so nice to be back. And, of course, we do get to say hello to the nation's favourite farmers once again. Rob and Dave, lads, how much fun were you having on top of those combines?
It was really magical driving that, Jules, but unfortunately, I'm old enough to remember when they were all the rage.
I feel like Dave wasn't having quite so much fun.
Mine definitely needed new brakes.
Well, it certainly set the scene for what is coming your way over the next few weeks. But on tonight's show, JB Gill and his son Ace have a go at beekeeping.
Oh, Daddy, I can't wait for the honey.
We meet the lucky farmer who drives the world's biggest combine harvester.
It's got your screens, fridge under the seat, heated, massage seat. Some people say it's more like the Hilton.
And get this, royalty comes to Cannon Hall Farm.
I'm not quite sure what the etiquette is, Rob.
Do you bow? Do you curtsy?
Come on then, who's this royal guest? I tell you what, you move in different circles, you two, these days.
You've changed.
Helen, our lips are sealed. We can't say.
No doubt a beautiful time of year, particularly if it starts like this, but it's a busy time for you, Autumn, isn't it?
We've got the ewes to get ready. We've got the teaser tups to introduce to the ewes. We've got the real tups to prep and make sure they're firing on all cylinders when their time arrives. So there's loads to do.
And I guess it's always tempting to think that, you know, the end of summer and the end of harvest effectively sort of puts farming to bed. But actually, this is you getting ready for the rest of the year 12 months from now.
Certainly is. You know, if you get it wrong now, there's going to be no lambs in the springtime. So, you know, we've got to get the rest of the crops in. All the vaccinations have to be done. It's a busy time.
Don't forget muck spreading.
Yeah.
Who could forget that?
You reap what you sow. Talking of putting things in the ground, let's talk potatoes.
Yeah, potato season now well underway, certainly in my neck of the woods on the Welsh borders. And I gather you have had a go at potato picking as well.
We renovated an old potato digger, Jules, in the summer with my son-in-law, Rob, and Reuben Owen, and we're putting it through its paces in a local potato field very near to here.
I'm amazed it stayed together. Did it work?
Well, let's see, shall we? Because the proof of the potato picker is in the picking. Enjoy.
Ooh, nicely done.
Teeth in for that one.
Autumn is peak time for potato production, and this year it's estimated over 5 million tonnes of spuds will be harvested in Britain. So there's no better time for Rob and Dave, along with Dad Roger, to find out if Reuben's restored potato digger actually works, as they attempt to harvest a local farmer's potato field.
She looks the absolute business.
It's a work of art, Rob. Paintwork looks stunning. It belongs in a museum.
Well, we'll find out in a moment or two, won't we?
More at home with livestock, it'll be a test for Rob and Dave too. Whereas for 78-year-old Roger, it should be second nature.
So did you actually pick potatoes at our farm, at Cannon Hall Farm?
Oh yes, we 5 or 6 years we picked potatoes before we called it a day. But right back in our history, we've always grown potatoes as a family, so
It's in our blood.
it's in our blood, yeah. Let's get this job on the road.
Definitely, we've 6 rows to lift here. And I'm hungry, I want some chips.
Originally, potato diggers like this would have been horse-drawn, but they were later adapted to be pulled by tractors. And today the boys are using their beloved Bessie.
This sets the blade height for going under the row. So if we're too high, we cut the potatoes in half, which is no good to anybody.
And if we're too low, it'll probably digging far too...
Well, let's try it on that setting.
I think that's all right there.
Try that then.
Yeah.
That's it.
This afternoon, Rob's going to be in the driving seat.
Are you ready?
Yep.
And it's soon the moment of truth.
Does that sound all right?
Having been sat rusting away in a field for decades, does this ancient contraption actually work?
It's absolutely making a marvellous job.
It looks like a brand new machine. It's great to watch.
And all those potatoes down there, they look a real treat, don't they? They're cropping really well.
The old digger might seem like small potatoes compared with today's high-tech machines. But when it was invented back in the 1850s, it was revolutionary. Potato production rocketed, with just one downside. They still needed to be collected by hand.
There. Right.
You've got a different technique. You're on your knees and I'm bending my back. I don't know which is best.
So back when you were a lad, Dad, it'd have been a lot slower pace of life, wouldn't it?
Well, you still to work as hard, if not harder, to be quite honest. But it was a slower pace, yes. There was a lot more of you. That was the big difference. And it just brings back really nostalgic memories to me to see this built to last, and it's still lasting. It's 80 years old, that machine.
And it's still going strong.
Well, it is. It's not being used a lot, but...
A bit like you, Dad.
Well, I'm being used a lot.
No, still going strong.
Oh, right. Oh, that's better.
Albeit a little slower than its modern counterparts, the old digger has still managed to unearth a bumper crop.
Well, that worked really well, Rob. I'm really surprised.
This is what success looks like.
What kept you?
Look, it brought back many happy memories. Picking spuds down that row, it was like old times, wasn't it, Dad?
It was absolutely like old times.
How good was that?
It was great to see. I've got to say, I love watching it work.
It was like poetry in motion.
It was a great thing.
Let's do another.
I'm up for another.
Oh, go on, one more then.
Did you get some nice chips?
The chips from the potatoes that David picked tasted very sweet.
All I got was a bad back.
But it's lovely, isn't it, to just see how those old things used to operate back in the day. A bit like watching you two sometimes. It was rather nice, I thought. And Roger, clearly in his element.
Driving that old tractor with that digger on the back and seeing me dad picking the spuds, it was joyful. It was a wonderful thing to see. It's a day I'll never forget.
But isn't it lovely to see how things were done back in the day? Often a lot more simply than perhaps we do things at the moment. And the good news is that over the next few weeks, we're going to be digging into some farming history just to see how it all happened.
That sounds like I've got a lot more work to do, Jim.
Exactly.
You read it well, David. You read it well. Still to come on tonight's programme, though.
Yes, JB Gill and son Ace are finding out why beekeeping is now causing such a buzz.
And it's Farmer Kate to the rescue, and she works her magic on an orphan goat.
That is all coming up in a few minutes' time.
Hang on, tell them who the royal guest is. Go on.
Go on. My lips are sealed. Did you put your coat down?
Welcome back. We know that you guys love to get involved with the show, especially on social media.
It's always great to see what our farmy army are up to, and we'd love to know what autumn means to you.
Send us your autumnal pictures. Have you created a harvest haul that you're really proud of? Maybe you've grown a massive pumpkin or one of those carrots in the shape of Boris Johnson's face.
Did somebody do that?
Yeah, it's a thing. Google it. Careful on Google, though. Careful.
Oh, yeah? I'll have to take your word for it. However, of course, you can get in touch with us in all the usual ways, via Twitter, Instagram, Instagram, or even by the email address, old school, that's on your screen now.
Now, though, I am buzzing for our next
Nice.
little
Nice.
film.
Yeah, okay.
Our good friend JB Gill has taken on a new challenge. He's decided to introduce a colony of bees to his farm in Kent.
A brave man indeed. However, he did have the help of a rather special young apprentice.
That's it. Make sure you spread some out that way as well. Today, I've roped in a keen new helper, my 6-year-old son, Ace.
It's a good throw.
When it comes to farming, he's proving to be a chip off the old block. All right, how many eggs have we got?
We got one.
2, 3. Good job. And last year, we were all very excited to welcome some new additions to our farm. Ones that are vital to mankind's survival. It's great for children to learn about the importance of bees. They're brilliant for the environment. They help flowers and food to grow. You know, they're brilliant for crops and vegetables. But of course, they also produce delicious honey. And we're not the only ones taking up beekeeping. The number of active colonies has more than doubled in the last decade, which is good news, as without bees, we'd be facing an environmental disaster. There we go. That's one.
I don't want to get any stung.
No, that's what these suits are for. This year, I'm hoping to harvest my first honey, which means I carry out regular hive inspections. Is there any gaps?
No gaps for any bees.
And today, Ace is helping me out for the first time. What we do first is we're going to light this smoker.
Yeah.
And it makes them a little bit easier to handle. We'll leave that for a couple of minutes. Gonna see if we can try and find the queen.
And honey.
Well, we're going to check for a little bit of honey, but we're also going to make sure that there are lots of eggs and that there are lots of larvae, because that means that the colony is very healthy. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Come on then.
There are all the honey makers.
Our hunt for the elusive queen bee begins. Look at those little white dots in there.
Yeah.
You see them? That's the larvae. Sometimes a queen can lay 2,500 eggs in a day. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Ah, found her.
Oh, there.
There she is.
Where?
With the blue on her back.
Oh, yeah.
So the queen is looking very good. She is doing her normal skulking about with her protective guard around her. And she's laying lots of eggs, which is brilliant.
Oh, Daddy, I can't wait for the honey.
This year, hopefully, we'll be able to harvest some. My hive is doing well, but I want to learn even more about hive maintenance and make sure I know what I'm doing for my first honey harvest this autumn. So I'm going back to the classroom, quite literally. We are back at my old school, my secondary school. It's filled with wonderful memories for me, and I've heard that they've got a beekeeping club. That wasn't here when I was here, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that is and getting into the hives that are here. The club is run by technology technician Angela Nichols.
This was a swarm that I collected earlier this year, and it's very well established now.
She set up the hives to teach pupils about the importance of bees to our planet. This is one of 5 hives, right?
It is, yes. This is a very lively colony. You can see the bees, and you can see the pollen that they're bringing in on their back legs. So they're very busy at the moment.
I'm just about to do my first honey harvest, so what can I use to help me?
The most simplest piece of equipment that you need is a clearer board.
What does this board do then?
The clearer board is put above the brood box, but underneath the boxes that contain the frames with the honey in. And those bees that have been making the honey and capping the honey will go through to get back down to where the queen is in the bottom box.
With the bees having moved down the hive, off comes the roof. The frames are clear, and the honey is easier to extract.
Wow, look at that.
Brilliant.
That looks beautiful. This is all capped honey.
So has that been just from this season?
Yes, and that's what you're looking for in your hive.
Looks very good to me. This really is what makes bees so special. Not only are they crucial for our survival, but there are some sweet rewards to be had if I look after my hive well.
Delicious. I hope my bees produce honey as good as this.
You keep that jar, you take it home.
Thank you very much. My son will definitely appreciate that.
Well, come back anytime you want.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Well done, JB. Good to see you absolutely in your element there. Fingers crossed for your honey later on this year. Now, as you can see, I also have got suited and booted, as indeed has our lovely cameraman here, Paul, because we've come to a part of the farm that neither of us have ever been to before. This is the apiary. This is where Rob and Dave keep their bees. And their beekeeper is Pat Foster. She's over here. Hello, Pat.
Hi, Jules.
I feel like I've landed on the moon.
Welcome to the apiary.
Nice to see you. Now I can both see and hear the bees here. They're quite busy, aren't they? What are you doing today?
Well, I'm just having a look in this hive because it's been here a few weeks now. And as you can see, there's actually 3 extra boxes of honey on here. I've put a clearer board on, and then in here you'll see the honey that they've actually gathered. So these are the frames that they gather the honey on, and as you can see, they've collected it, they've sealed it over with the wax, and that's now ready for extracting. And that's quite heavy if you want to have a feel.
Goodness me. That's like 2 jars of honey right there.
It is, at least.
And how long would it take these bees, say, to fill 1 frame like that?
Well, they only usually need about a 10-day window of opportunity. In spring this year, we had awful weather, and we didn't think we were going to get any spring honey at all.
Now, for anybody who's thinking of keeping bees at home, how do you go about it? Because let's face it, it cannot be as simple as just buying a hive and hoping for the best. Where do you start?
Well, that's right. And my first recommendation for anybody who is interested is to do your research, read up about it, but most importantly, if you can find out where your local beekeeping association is, go along to the meeting. There'll be people there who are in the same situation, really interested, wanting to get started, but equally there are well-experienced beekeepers as well.
Certainly in my travels, I've met many beekeepers, and there is a real sense of community about it, and the advice clearly, well, as overflowing as you hope the honey will be.
Yeah, exactly. And they're always there for support. They will help you, but it's a little bit like fishermen sometimes. How big's your catch? How big's your yield? You know, there is a few bragging rights going on as well.
But where, for example, would you begin to get your bees from? Because you can't just go to a pet shop, can you?
No, you need to be in contact with your local association. There will be beekeepers there who are willing to sell some of their colonies. Some will sell just the bees and you can transfer them into your own hive, or they will sell you the whole hive as well.
Now, the smell of honey here is fabulous, helped, I suppose, by the sun and a warm day.
Exactly.
Can we try some? Is it ready to go?
It is. I've got some spoons in my pocket ready.
Fantastic. So you're just going to take out one of these. Do you want me to lift it up for you?
Yes, please. If you lift out one of those.
Again, a nice weighty one. There we are. Goodness me, clearly bursting with honey. Should we head over here? Right then, let's see. Oh, well done. We got that.
You just take our hoods off.
Gosh, easier said than done, isn't it? Whew, that's better. Now then. Oh, thank you very much. Look at this. I do love honey. I've never had the chance to eat it, though, direct from the comb. How exciting is this? Anywhere?
Anywhere. Just go for it.
Look at the honey bulging out of the combs there. Has it been a good year for honey?
It has. It's been a good summer.
Wow. It doesn't get much better or fresher than that. That was absolutely delicious. Now then, as we know, life here at the farm is full of surprises, particularly, of course, when it comes to the animals. And that was certainly the case recently with one very special new arrival. Oh, this is delicious.
Besides already looking after hundreds of animals on the farm, Rob and Dave are only too willing to take on more responsibility. They've just got wind of an orphan goat that needs looking after, and they know just the person who can help. Cannon Hall Farm's very own foster mum, Farmer Kate.
Kate is brilliant at rearing baby animals. There are countless baby alpacas, there are lambs, there are goat kids, calves and even baby donkeys that are here today that wouldn't be if Kate wasn't so good at her job.
The little goat is called Milo. He was found wandering abandoned in the woods nearby and was undernourished. Kate's been bottle feeding him milk from one of their nanny goats. To get the goats to play ball, Kate tempts them with their favourite treats.
I brought the carrots. Are you hungry? We're going to get some milk from Dorsey, our lovely goat here. And in order to do that, she's got to be still. So to keep her still, the best way we found is to bribe her with some food.
Dorsey is the farm's milking goat, brought in especially to provide milk for orphaned and abandoned animals.
Because she has so much milk, we originally were just giving this to little Rob, our alpaca, but since Milo's arrived, he's been able to have this milk as well because she's just absolutely amazing at giving us some really good quality milk.
Having a goat like Dorsey is a major help, and there are other advantages to having her milk on tap too.
It makes it so much easier because I don't even have to heat this milk up. It's straight from her, straight to Milo. Are you hungry? Annie, it's not your turn. Come on. This is definitely one of the perks of my job. It's one of the highlights of my day, coming down, seeing him every morning. It's like the first job I do each day and it's the last thing I do at the end of the day. And, you know, it's just really, really nice to look forward to. Is that all gone? I can't believe how much he can fit in that belly. Do you want the rest of it? You still hungry?
For now, Milo is being kept separate from the other animals. He's still just a bit too small to mix with them. But when he is big enough, Kate has got the perfect new pals for him.
We've got little Rob here, our little Kriya, who is a bundle of joy, and Annie is a very playful playmate for him. And I can't wait to see how these three play together. So like a little alpaca, a boa goat and a pygmy goat we've never had live together before, but I think they're going to have a lot of fun. Yeah, are you looking forward to it as well?
It's still early days for Milo, but with Kate's care and attention, he's got the best possible start in life.
I really do like goats. They are one of my favourite animals here. They've just got so much personality and they're always kind of like up to no good, but I don't think you can say no to that face.
Here's hoping that new pals Annie the goat and Rob the baby alpaca say yes to their new friend.
Well, the moment has come when we get to find out if Milo is really going to get on with his new farm family.
It's a bit like dropping your kid off at nursery or school for the first time.
And poor old Kate must be quite emotional for her too. Follow us through here and we'll see what happens at this momentous farm moment. Look at this lot, though. There's Audrey, Helen the alpaca's mum, I think.
Shakira with a fine-looking haircut this time.
Yeah, a far better haircut than Farmer Rob ever gave her. And we've got Beyonce there too, amongst others. But come over here, because in this pen, we've got Rob, we've got Annie, and, of course, we've got Farmer Kate. Hello, Rob. Hello, mate. Good boy. Come on, then. Well, Kate, you've spent a lot of time preparing Milo for this moment. These two look very welcoming, don't they?
I hope so. I hope they're going to be the perfect playmates for him. He wasn't able to live with them initially because he was just so little when he first arrived. But now he's big and strong enough that he can go in here full-time. That's the hope, as long as these two behave themselves.
How are you feeling about letting him out?
It's almost like letting your little kid go to the big nursery with the other one.
We were just saying that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But look, they clearly are curious. They're clearly minded to get on, I would say.
Yeah. Come on, let's do it.
Let's get them out. Come on, Milo.
Come on then.
And just tell us a bit about why it's important to do this, Kate.
The goats are a herd animal. They are really social animals. So when we got him, it was right at the end of our lambing and kidding season.
He's on both legs.
So we didn't have any animals his age. So we thought, well, next best thing, we'll put him in with some company, but he could still be protected and not be trodden on by big goats like Annie.
He's already keen to play with Rob, who's not quite sure.
Oh, look at him.
Is that a good sign?
Look at that, yeah, I'm really pleased. Like, I think he's going to take to this really nicely.
It's skipping about, isn't he? Look at that.
Yeah, he's enjoying it. Good boy.
Get eaten from behind, Dave. What do you want?
That's Helen.
This is Helen.
That's Helen.
Yeah, that's
Helen with
it.
the
Yeah,
haircut,
your namesake.
yeah.
I know it's not about you today, gorgeous. I know, I'm sorry.
Well, I think that's gone pretty well, isn't it?
I think so. He's standing up for himself, which I'm really pleased about, because I was a bit nervous he'd be a bit of a pushover, but I think I was wrong about that.
It's so good to see Milo skipping and bouncing around like that. It's so much fun. Credit to you, Kate, because that is one content little goat. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so pleased with him. It couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah, well done, Kate. I think you've just given us yet another firm farm favourite in the making. Just great to see. We could spend all day in here watching this. It's fantastic. However, coming up, we have got the world's biggest combine harvester for you. Other shows may give you big combine harvesters, but no, we have got the biggest in the world. Oh, yes.
What have I told you about bragging about size?
It matters with combines.
Also, we will find out what happened when a royal, I'm being eaten by someone.
By Annie.
When a royal came to visit Cannon Hall Farm, but do you know which royal it was?
I'm going to go Eugenie.
Nope.
Edward.
This could go on for a while. Let's enjoy Milo. See you in a minute.
Welcome back. Now, of course, we are in the midst of the harvesting season, and with demand for food increasing globally, farmers are having to produce more crops than ever before.
And harvesting a massive crop requires massive machinery. And when I say massive, I mean massive.
Meet the X9. It's the world's largest combine harvester, representing the next level of harvesting performance, able to collect more than 100 tons of grain per hour.
It's got a 45-foot header, belt-driven. Each side can move independently and contour with the ground, which is a big advantage.
It's being trialled here in North Lincolnshire by farm manager Peter Harriman.
They can drive themselves, they can steer themselves. It will give us information on any one part of the field and what the yield or what the crop is coming in.
But when it is driven by a human, it boasts all mod cons inside, making the ride all that comfier for driver Peter Cadman.
It's got your screens, fridge under the seat, heated, massage seat. Some people say it's more like the Hilton.
But it's not all about showing off. There's a real reason why bigger is better. Because of climate change, there are shorter harvest windows, so it can be a battle against the elements to save a year's work.
Weather is everything. These autumns now are getting more unpredictable. We just need to have to get the crop in quicker.
So when the weather is right,
it should be good to go.
It's a race against the clock. With the widest head of any combine in the world, it makes light work of harvesting its first field of wheat. Its tank can hold over 16,000 litres of grain and then offload it at an impressive 186 litres per second.
We're all pretty excited about it. And if we can get more done in the right conditions and finish sooner, the better.
But not everybody shares their enthusiasm for size. Over the border in Nottinghamshire, they're committed to the old ways.
My daughter said I needed a hobby and I can't play golf and I'm not very good at dancing, so this is it.
In the last 6 years, arable farmer Andy Blagg has collected and restored 8 vintage combine harvesters dating between the mid-1940s to the early 60s.
As a young boy, I always loved harvest on the farm here. So when we started collecting things, I bought that one off my friend to play with and it sort of grew from there.
But these aren't just museum pieces. Andy still uses them to harvest. And today, he's taking out his most prized machine.
This is the Massey Harris 21. which is the first successful mass-produced combine harvester, and it revolutionised modern farming.
It might have shaken up the farming world then, but it takes a fair bit of elbow grease to get it going now.
They're not something that you can just jump on and use.
But once Andy hits the field, he soon picks up the pace.
Normally I have a big grin on my face, kind of mouthful of dust, but a big grin.
And who needs a 45-foot head anyway? This vintage machine looks to be cropping just as fast as the world's largest. Only joking. In an hour, Andy's only managed to hoover up 4 tons of wheat. That's 20 times less than Peter. But he's not worried. As for him, it's all about the authentic harvest experience.
I do love it. I look forward to it every year, and as old as she is, she can still do a day's work.
Well, how times have changed, lads. I mean, what a treat farmers get now. I mean, it has moved on, isn't it?
It has, Jules, but driving this old combine this morning brought back so many wonderful childhood memories, and I just felt in touch with nature, in touch with the environment. It was just a lovely thing to do.
But that's lovely because you only did it 100 yards. If you running for 8 hours, all that dust in your face. There's a reason things have upscaled and got bigger, isn't there?
There certainly is. You've got a small window to get the job done, so you need bigger machines. Labour costs have gone up. So if a machine can do the job of 20 people, that's the direction farming is going.
And if you look at what's happening in America, machinery is huge. Is that the direction of farming in this country as well?
I suppose it is, Helen, but there are some limitations, road sizes, gate widths, but the acreage that those machines can cover in America is incredible. You've sometimes only a day or two to do it, so I totally get why these machines are getting bigger. We just need to remember the good times on these old ones, though.
The good old days, yeah. Where's my massage chair? Yeah, good.
Time now for a quick break, but stay where you are, because when we return, we'll be checking in with our resident chef, Tim Bilton, who is cooking up a feast fit for a princess.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, nice little clue, because, of course, the royal visit to Cannon Hall Farm is also coming up. Boys, did you get knighthoods, or were you sent to the tower?
So, Dave,
you'll find out after the break.
Oh, don't give them ideas,
Oh, yeah.
Dave.
Anyway,
I like it.
That is all still to come in a few minutes' time.
Welcome back to Cannon Hall Farm, and it's a very warm welcome. 1, because it's really, really hot and sunny. 2, because we are in the kitchen and the stove is on. 3, resident chef Tim Bilton is here.
Tim, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
I am a massive fan of your culinary skills, and for me, I think autumn is a great time for food. You know, stews, soups, all of that. Would you agree?
Oh, 100% I agree with that. You know, there's something so nice about going out for that autumnal walk.
Yeah.
You know, on a crisp, dry afternoon or morning, and popping a stew into the oven, and then just coming back and just having that sort of warmth, comfort sort of food. Oh, it's lovely.
And we're all cozying up, aren't we? We've all enjoyed the summer, we hope. Hopefully it's been warm and dry, but just that change in the season, we can get the jumpers out, get the fire lit, get really cozy, and, as you say, settle down to arguably perhaps the best produce through the year, because everything's happened, isn't it? Harvest has been and gone.
As a chef, Jules, I love the season of autumn. September, October and November. Do you know what I mean? There's a bounty of sort of fruit and vegetables that we've got that are a lot warmer, richer in flavour, and really, really sort of hearty vegetables that we can get our teeth into.
And it's when British food is good, because we're good at a root vegetable in this country. We've got the climate for it, haven't we?
We certainly have.
Talking of vegetables...
This smells amazing. I can
Yes,
smell the butter, the mushrooms.
Jules, while you stood there, can you peel me that?
Yeah, sure.
Over the next few weeks, you are going to be cooking up some real autumnal feast for us, and I'll try not to break the kitchen. What are you making?
So this is for a very special royal visitor that we had here at Cannon Hall Farm, and it's an autumnal vegetable pie.
Is this what you handed over to the secret visitor?
It is indeed. So we've got celeriac mushrooms.
Yeah.
Jules is professionally peeling that sweet potato that we've got there. But we've also got leeks, kale, beetroot, squash.
Now, I love a squash, but I never know what to do with them.
Oh, super easy. For you, Helen, dead easy.
He knows me well.
Split that squash in half.
Yeah.
Scrape out the seeds. Toast the seeds in some pan. It's like eating popcorn when you toast the seeds.
Toast them?
Toast the seeds. Beautiful. Split that in half. Score the flesh. A little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper into the oven, and then just scoop it out like you would have.
You see, so says a super professional chef who makes all of that sound easy. What do you want me to do with this?
Right, we're going to slice that up now.
You want it in discs?
Yeah, discs.
Yeah, right.
Perfect.
Can I keep that?
You can.
It's going home to Skelton Towers, is it?
So all I'm doing is I'm getting some nice caramelised colour on
Okay.
here. Got salt and pepper. We've got some aromatic herbs in there, rosemary, thyme, a little bit of garlic as well, just to flavour everything up.
There we are, Chief.
Oh, that's perfect. All that sort of charredness that we've got on that mushroom, on that celery up there, that is what's going to give us flavour. We've got beetroot, we've got squash, sweet potato, mushroom, kale we've got in there.
Love kale.
And with all of the... Well, you're very modern, aren't you? With all of those vegetables, have you literally just caramelised them a bit in the pan?
So some have been roasted.
Right.
Some have been baked in sea salt and herbs, and we've done that on papillote. That's with the
My
beetroot.
mouth is watering.
The leeks have been braised, so there's all different cooking elements that
Okay.
we've done into that, and we're just going to build the pie.
Right.
Build the pie. I like it. The smells are fabulous. The colours are fabulous. You're about to put the lid on that and get it away into the oven, Tim. I can't wait. Oh, look at this. Now then, what's happening here? The final flourish.
So this is something special that we did for our royal visitor.
Now then.
HRA, Joe, it's for you!
Do you think so? If only. If only. But this goes to the heart of our next item, doesn't it? Because, yeah, royalty came to Cannon Hall Farm for good reason, Helen.
They absolutely did. If you have been watching us over the last year, you will know about Rob and Dave's sterling efforts to lift the nation's spirits. They did live updates from the farm during lockdown.
And their efforts were recognised by the Prime Minister, no less, last year.
And as Jules has alluded to, now they've been given the royal seal of approval. This morning, it's been an earlier start than usual for everyone on the farm. There's a lot of work to be done as Rob and Dave are expecting a VIP visitor.
I'm not slightly nervous. I'm absolutely petrified.
Their efforts to keep the nation entertained during lockdown have earned them a special accolade, a visit from royalty.
The Princess Royal is coming here today to recognise the work that we've done through lockdown. All we've done is carried on farming, we've kept people involved, and they've just enjoyed being part of what we do.
Not only that, but she'll also be officially opening a new farm cafe.
It is a big occasion for us. I'm not quite sure what the etiquette is, Rob.
Do you bow? Do you curtsy?
Is it a complete bow? Is it just a nod of the head?
What I've been told, Dave, we refer to the Princess Royal as ma'am.
Ma'am.
Not ma'am.
Ma'am.
Gotta be ma'am.
With their airs and graces ironed out, Rob and Dave must get the rest of the farm spruced up.
As usual, I'm doing all the work. David's putting his feet up.
And they're hoping to impress the princess with their latest arrival.
The Princess Royal is patron of the Beef Shorthorn Society. And we've just had a lovely little heifer born this morning, so I think she'll be thrilled to actually see that one.
No, she knows a lot about livestock. She's a farmer at heart.
Princess Anne is also known for her love of horses, so the farm's Shetland ponies and Shire horses are bound to be under extra scrutiny. And the boys want Her Royal Highness to leave with a taste of Yorkshire.
That looks really good. She's going to love that.
As they put together a hamper of local produce from their farm shop.
How come I've ended up carrying it?
Well, you've got that extra strong arm.
It's going to be useful for something. I think she'll like them.
I hope so.
With the hamper packed and just minutes to spare until their royal arrival, they need to quickly get their posh clothes on.
It looks good, Rob, but, I mean, normally I wouldn't say anything to you, but you've still got your tags on.
Awake.
Things I do for you.
We're in business, Dave. Come on. She's here. Can I introduce my brother David? Very pleased to meet you. Can we show you around the farm?
Yeah, you can give it a try.
Introductions safely out of the way, they soon get into their stride, showing Princess Anne the sights.
Yeah, we'd like to show you up in the roundhouse. Of course I am.
Meeting farm staff and animals along the way, all before high tea is served up with farmer Roger and wife Cynthia.
The highlight for me was presenting Her Royal Highness to my family. You know, that was really a really lovely thing to do. It made me proud. And to present them to my mum and dad and have tea with them was a really nice touch. I feel really pleased that I got the etiquette right. I really think I did. I ought to say, Mum.
You might have overdone the man bit every now and again, but you did us proud, Rob. I really loved unveiling the plaque. The OEC symbol on top of it, I thought she found quite funny.
No expense spared with the tea towel.
And you've got the right date.
It'll be up on the wall tomorrow for everyone to see, and hopefully, you know, it's a proud moment for us. We're Barnsley farmers, and we've had royalty visitors today.
It's been a magical experience.
Thanks very much.
What an amazing day.
So then, Rob and Dave, do you think mixing with royalty has changed you at all?
Not that I've noticed.
Not at all.
We're the same humble farmers we've always been, Joe.
Any excuse to dress up.
But listen, what an amazing opportunity, though. And I'm delighted to say that as well as Rob and Dave, we are joined now by two of the Cannon Hall farm team who were here on the day to meet Princess Anne, Daryl and Liz. Liz, was she in the bakery? Was she ordering scones? How was it?
No, we actually met her at the top of the stairs of the bakery. And obviously she went round the farm shop and looked at all the produce that we actually make.
Buy anything?
Yes, she did, actually. Some Eccles cakes, I think.
Eccles? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And what about you, Daryl? Did you manage to speak to her?
I didn't actually speak to her, no, because I got my hands full at the time. I was wrestling a goat.
What, she didn't give you a hand?
I'm afraid not, no.
I thought she was famously hands-on. That's disappointing, isn't it?
She looked fairly interested.
Yeah, good.
Listen, you don't get involved when Daryl is wrestling a goat. You stand back and let the master do his work. Talking of masters at work, Timothy.
Come in, Tim. Look at that.
Arrived.
And we've made extra, because I know how ravenous you are to taste that autumnal pie.
Especially at this time of a show. Absolutely, yeah. Delighted. Can we try some?
Please, by all means.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Daryl, Liz, Rob and Dave, as always. That is all that we have got time for this week's This Week on the Farm. I'm glad I finished that just as he took a big bite of beetroot.
Absolutely delicious. Yeah, guys, thank you very much, as ever, for having us. And we will see you, same time, same place, next week.
Bye-bye.
Good.
That is actually really good.
You forget how beautiful this place is. I do love it here. The work, the place, the people.
Yes, the new series of All Creatures Great and Small begins tomorrow at 9. Next, profiling the tragic case of Holly Gazzard in Stalked, Murder in Slow Motion.